When Subramanya was 21, there came yet another blow in his life, his father's sudden demise. Despite his immense sorrow, thanks to his years of spiritual discipline, he was able to gather himself and perform all the required rites meticulously. To the grieving brother and relatives, he became the rock of strength. And from his grieving pen flowed more sublime poems such as the grand Vishnu Yamakam in memory of his father. The call of sannyasa was even stronger now, but there were responsibilities. His younger brother, Shankara, was still in school. His wealthy father had left behind an estate and numerous financial matters that had to be settled. Subramanya had no doubts that his duties had to be performed. He decided to stay. But with this decision came a surge of determination to step up his spiritual commitments even further. He looked after the estate as a mere trustee. He moved into a small shed at the edge of his large estate compound. He slept on the ground. A single dhoti was his only possession. His thirst for knowledge led him to travel to holy places far and near. And in all the temples he visited, the deities appeared so real to him that he would be drawn into blissful absorption, losing all sense of time and surroundings. He even lost sense of his own body and stayed in total bliss. He also met many renowned scholars. He listened to them with earnest, engaging in discussions. And at times, when these discussions turned into debates, he would say with folded hands, "I argue, but not for victory. If I argue, it is only to understand the truth. In every way, you are my elders and my teachers. I am nothing but a disciple of yours." This humility and compassion became a hallmark of his character and never ever left him. He soon became respected and loved by all in these spiritual centers. And when he returned home, there was the gentle but relentless pressure from his relatives trying to hook him into marriage. And yet, not once was he curt or rude to them. He gently said, "Yes, I shall marry, and when I marry, you will see whom I marry, and then you will have no reason to regret it." To keep up his social responsibilities, he wrote many more articles to Sanskrit magazines. And as the appreciation and pressure grew from his readers, he started publishing a magazine of his own. He also wrote regularly for renowned papers like the Malayalam Manorama. He was also an excellent orator. He drew huge crowds wherever he spoke about religion and philosophy. He even gave welcome speeches for large events for Gandhiji and Tagore. All this led to even more activity. And it wasn't long before he realized that all the appreciation, the fame, the recognition had absolutely no bearing upon his spiritual growth. Instead, these things came with the dangers of vanity and ego. So one fine day, he just stopped. He stopped speaking in public, he wound up the magazine, and decided to spend as much time as he could in the pursuit of the highest truth. The search for enlightenment became relentless now. Subramanya writes about many encounters with great saints, including Sri Ramana Maharishi. He wrote about that visit. As a young brahmachari, I had the great fortune of having the darshan of Sri Ramana Maharishi when he was living in a cave at Tiruvannamalai. One afternoon, I climbed to the cave and saw the Maharishi there. I placed a bunch of fruits, bowed, and sat before him. Instantly, some monkeys jumped onto the scene, took the fruits, and ran away. The Maharishi then looked at my face lovingly. That's all. Not a single word he spoke. I too was quiet. Supreme divine silence prevailed. 1 hour passed. He rose for taking his meal. I too rose from my seat, bowed again, and began to walk down from the cave. Someone came to me and pressed me to take a little prasada. Thanking him, I refused. The Maharishi called him back and advised him not to press me. And then I left the cave. The Maharishi was the idol of peace and silence. To inquire about that divine silence is nothing other than the inquiry of who am I? O man, inquire and be immersed in that silence, he wrote. Thanks to his sadhana and frequent association with Mahatmas throughout the country, Subramanya had obtained all spiritual secrets. At home, he did everything he could to realize the truth. He ate only once a day and stopped even milk at night. He worked hard to learn to avoid sleep. Now he could spend his nights in meditation too. His only associations were now with the pious and holy. As a result of all this, he was now able to enter into Nirvikalpa Samadhi, a superconscious state of absolute oneness with the universal spirit, a state where all sense of difference between the meditator, the meditation, and the object of meditation disappears. He fully realized the Mahavakya, Tat Tvam Asi, and with this realization, he felt that his life had fulfilled its purpose.
Nandishavaha Peruvarapate Mahesha Mandagini Salilatira Kritadhivasa Nandadi Bhakta Nichayairanu Sevyamana Santapanashana Vibho Tava Suprabhata.